All are all good. Every human being has good and bad in them. It depends which one you speak to. What Harris has started in this community, if we don't post up to him, don't stand up to him to do what is right, and make this community about the Liberian people and stop the attack and the disrespect, we're setting a wrong precedent. And Harry can rest assured his entire administration, whether they both want out, they want out. That one, I'm not concerned. My concern is Harry will do what is right in this community going forward. Or you can rest assured.
Polala, 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 yeah.
Thank you. Now let's go to after the behavior of the president. I see one or two person, not even the whole, not even majority, just one or two person coming and suggesting that they should restrict the chat room, and that after the thing happened, well, Harry. The president irrational behavior removed me illegally. They said they had a meeting. Did you see what the board came out with? Talk about anybody who posts video in there, they must have tangible reasons of any allegation. Failing again, once again, the board failing the community to address the real issue. What do you say about that? Because I saw your comment in there. You were furious about the thing that they came out with.
And I stand by that comment unapologetically.
But you very clear, you said no.
Let me say this to our community people. We're not going to raise, enable, or enhance any dictator or anyone that will come and disrespect our people. No, we're not going to do that. No, we're not. It's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. It is not going to work. For those of you who are certified praise and worship, that's your business. Me, I don't care about that. Some people are born to praise and worship other people. Some people are born to make excuses for other people. That's their right. Me, I don't have a problem. I can change them. But I know for a fact.
Church dealer. What happened? I'm not afraid of nobody in the community.
What happened?
You do the right thing, I will praise you.
In fact, let me go back to something that we're overlooking, because when some of us go to meetings and other things, we pay attention. The board of director, Eric T, in the meeting, Harry disrespected him more than once. I'm not here to make case for him, but where the truth is, we'll put it in.
Because you can't say to Harry.
You don't do that, right?
You have oversight all this.
Secondly,
and you telling the truth.
Secondly, I am
y'all maybe both chairman and see what person Harry y'all maybe both chairman. Secondly, and see your kind of chat room and respect anybody. Secondly, or any president for that matter. Y'all maybe Bollitv both chairman. Y'all see whether any president in the community will kind of disrespect anybody in the community. If I like removing him of power, I'm
Mr. Bolay. Secondly, like you said, I'm disappointed in the board.
Seriously.
I call the three people that are in charge of the board leadership. I call Laura, I call Fred, and I call Eric T when they posted that post that he had a joint meeting with
the executive.
First of all, let me say this to
you. Branch your team for that executive meeting.
Let me say this to the Liberian people. The board, Harry and executive member, you don't get to make any decision on our behalf. It must be, but the Constitution says in Article 6, if you're not reading the Constitution, go read it. We must, as a people, agree to it. You go sit and you go rest, some kind of funny thing you can post it. Who you're supposed to gerrymander? Who you're supposed, when they sat down, the same board members, the interesting part, those board members sat down in there, in as much that Harry did not call Eric name. Harry attacked Eric indirectly. Then he turned around and extended it to the Grand Jury Association. That one you own them. That John Palmer Whistle John Ray. I don't care about that. But what I care about is this. I see other board members in the chat room there. When Harry is attacking people, they don't say anything.
No, they don't say anything.
And you know what Article 8 says? Article 8 says they're supposed to create check and balance.
The board, yes.
Guess what? They're in the chat room there. When you want to say something, then they say, oh, for peace sake, and you're resting too much in the chat room. Let me say this to you. You have the option on your phone to mute or delete the app. Just start wasting your time. Just start giving people a hard time. We'll not tolerate that.
Nobody deleted my videos there. They better don't try.
I told the leadership of the board already.
They better don't try.
I reached out to them, and let me say it because I won't be on record. The Liberian board, not the one I call them individually. I expressed my disappointment to them because they are in the chat room there, and they saw Harry attacking people, misbehaving over and over. The members of the executive, none of them say anything. They read it, they passed by it.
So you go. This is my thing. Because I got all the things from what they said there. You go behind closed door, you go tell the man, oh no, you want the man. But then you come out to give statement. You don't mention in there. You don't put no apologies in there. Oh, we are legends. You think I just
So in fact, everything that is written in that chat room, including the policy for the chat room, including the benevolent policy, including whatever the board and then they want to say, it's illegal, it's illegitimate. I will prove it to you in the Constitution today. Just look, enough is enough. This foolishness needs to stop. If we move this community forward, then let's do it.
I think we need to change the entire bro, everybody, because I don't know what they're afraid of.
It's not a joke. They're joking. The thing we joking.
We need somebody who will be a leader to run it, who will say, oh, get oversight responsibility. It doesn't matter who that person is. It can be leader or who. If they misbehave, you tell them, damn, my man, everything, man. Let's stress with everything. Tell two them people, chairman, and let Hurricane delete somebody in that place. Y'all see what happened. Don't make me. I want people thinking they both chairman draw I want 9 in the community. Let any leader come there and tell them they respect my people, and you think will sit there and I get all
the rules and regulations for the chat room. It's illegitimate, illegal. Let me tell you the laboratory today. Because you know what the Constitution says. All of these things that will emulate policies or whatever it is need to be brought to the general body. We propound on it and vote on it. We need to discuss it. You don't go sit down in your house and make some kind of policy that looks foolish and redundant, and you also come and kind of impose it on people. Like I said, you don't even want to get someone all started.
So let's go. Now that we know, the people not know everything. Because let me tell you something, it's disheartening. You are the bull. You worry about the thing that wants to be worry about that the community chat room. Nobody's supposed to go inside and threaten anybody. Nobody's supposed to go into a personal attack on anybody, family member, or talk my personal business. Right? The board is supposed to call that person and deal with it. However, with that being said, you cannot only come and be trying to restrict. Do you know that after the man took me out and the executive went after him, the man was trying to have the executive again. When I have the text message, I will post it in a video from him, wanting them to restrict the whole chat room. So can you imagine that? And what kind of mentality is that?
And we're informed about that. That's why,
he said I'm gonna restrict.
That's why, from a personal standpoint, I came up with a personal stand in the chat room that if that ever happens, I'm leaving the chat room and I'm not part of it, I would never ever be part of that chat room in the Librarian Association again, because you know what? I'm not, nobody should be subjected to that. I'm not small children dealing with in the chat room. We're grown men and women, we are adults.
Hey, let me say something, Mr. President. Let me tell you something. Any leader in the community going forward, or even the current leader, that think that you come after the people's media, Bollietv, to silence the people's media, I too will come after your presidency or whatever position you hold for the people to remove you. Because you know what? You are incoming dictator. You are certified dictator. Once you try to silence the people's media, any one of you, whether it be on the board or be president, from current and going forward, you want to come after the media. This is the 21st century. You can see CNN. They bring people that let Joe Biden. They bring people that let Joe Biden. Fast can do the same. They bring people that let Trump. People that let Trump. Nobody trying to divide the community. We're trying to straighten the community. We're trying to hold people accountable. Bollietv is a place for everybody, for all of you. You can carry your expression. The only thing I'll let you can't talk about killing your friend or attacking or threatening to do something to your friend, or going after your friend family, like they did. Somebody like Mr. I know he thinks I'm crazy when go create me to kind of attack to come see trying to drag my family in there. Me, I will keep it professional. I will remain a media man for all of you. There's your million of expression. So people can be making flower behind the scene. All of you can hear your thought to your people there. So you put in a year, let put them make the decision as to who talking the truth, who not talking the truth. So we can know the true community leaders here. We can know who in the position area doing their job and who not doing their job. Who the rightful religion, church leader here, church pastor here, church prophet here, apostle, all of you here. Bollietv is for every one of you. I never charge anybody a dime because I want to make sure I put my community image out there to the world. In so doing, nobody in the community here can dictate or tell Bollietv what program to air and what program not to air. I can even keep an interview for 5 years. I won't release it, I'll release it. So long you agree to come on the TV, you have consented. That material becomes mine. So you start somewhere, I bet you legit. Oh, the media, why you can't only talk about it's not where la people get to. We just be talking about good thing. They just the bar will super under the road. I don't see nothing under the rug. Let me make it clear. I want you to understand it. Now should be under the royal thing we do here. I mean it. I keep to fix this community. And we all must join hands to fix it. Mr. President, let's go into that financial report that you saw. They make condemn every report. They own 124, 26. You read a report. You are one of those I saw in the chat where you came at a report. What do you find in that report that make you think that report is not correct?
First of all, I would encourage Harry in his open manner and his entire executive, including the Vice President, the Secretary General, the Financial Secretary. I would encourage all of them to stop using the word the report was comprehensive. Don't do that. None of you should do that. It is a disgrace. It's shameful. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. The report is not only confusing, it's complexing, and it's all over the place. It is all over the place. It's not concise. Look, for example, right? Pastor Cooper, the president, admitted in a chat room that Pastor Cooper gave him money.
March 1st, 2024.
How come it's not in the report? How come it's not there? Well, how come it's not there?
I know who the money was transferred to and who transferred the money to him.
Secondly, someone talking about money. When you read Article 15, do you know that the association should have no other bank account open except it's approved by the board? Did the board approve for them to transfer to anybody account and not being deposited in the association account? Apart from the general secretary, was it B-Board that they transferred the money to? Because the only person that the Constitution gives the right to ensure that that person is holding our money, not the president, not the vice president.
I want to do the board. Let me just say, that's why I said I need to find a month where I will only interview board members to see if they can really, when he complaints get to Mr. Erite, he can actually carry to the entire board where they will all sit down and discuss it. Because this kind of thing in the Constitution, this is why I'm having problem with Mr. Tay, who is a chairman of the board.
Article 7 is clear. In Article 7, it talks about the role of the
chairman
president.
of the board.
It talks about the role of the vice president, the secretary, and the secretary general. Guess what? The only person that should be holding the bank account. Look, I read a report and I saw that they get cash app and all the other things, the cash app card. Why are you getting cash app card? The secretary, look, the financial secretary should be the only one holding checks, signing checks. Go read it. Look, read the Constitution. These things are there. So first of all, like I said, these guys are discombobulated. They don't know what's going on. They're running all around themselves, giving themselves a hard time. But for them to focus on what they're doing, they won't be attacking people who lay the premise, who work tirelessly and very hardly to ensure this organization comes to where it be. And we're not taking that disrespect. So I will say to you, that report is a trash. And you know why the president is disrespectful? Because in the meeting, the board of director, Eric Tate, to his credit, I will say here, rejected the report. But according to insisted that the report, even in the meeting, let me say this. Emilia Dennis, who is the wife of the Secretary General, to her credit, in the meeting that day, and I'll paraphrase, I may not quote the exact words she used, but these are things that she said to the president in the meeting. Is the president? Many people are complaining about the report. I will encourage you and your administration to please take the report back and work on it. And you know what? Her point is supported by the Constitution. When you read Article 6, it talks about the general body. The general body, we're supposed to deliberate on it and accept that report or not. When we reject it, we need to care about it and fix it.
Well, let me. If you watch the July 1st interview, my community or my audience, if you watch the July 1st interview with the president and I asked him about how that report was received by the body. He said they don't have to give it to the body, and then when I said, well, I want to say, but when you give it to them, according to you, since he is alleging that they don't have to. How did it? He said the body accepted it.
That's a lie.
And he said the body received it. He said people were happy with it. And then he said that the reason why he even gave a copy of that report to Heritage, it was as a courtesy. He does not have to give you a copy.
In fact, let me say this. It was not as a courtesy, it was a showmanship.
Does he have to give a report to the board?
It was in fact, all those things are done. Let me tell you something. All those things are done. This is what we did in our administration during our time. Yes, you send a copy to the board.
The message is not constitutional.
You email a copy to the board.
Okay.
Let me say this. And the reason for that is, when you read Article 6, in Article 6, this is what it says. It says the general membership of the association shall be the supreme body and shall vote on issues that are that are prompted by the executives. So we make the final decisions on everything. Eric, in that same meeting that I spoke about what Emilia said, Eric said the board rejects that and they should go and make the amendment and make the changes at the body. Harris stood in that meeting and vehemently refused to go and make amendments and changes. And this is unprecedented. People don't get to make decisions and impose it on us.
We're not going to, there's no dictatorship that will exist in the community. Period. You tell the dictator here, I have to find support to carry you.
And here's it. In our article says, you know what it says? It says the general membership shall also be used to reviewing proposal, planning programs, planning and considering any matter put forward by the board and the executive for resolution. So even if the board does not agree to that, that means itself is a big question.
Well, so there's my question, right? The board rejected the report.
The body rejected it as well.
The body rejected it as well. You're in the meeting, right?
Yes.
That was before the inauguration, is that correct?
Was before the inauguration. And that was on the same day that because of the interactions, because I tried to let him know that it was wrong, at the same day he threatened to call police on me, and he also threatened to kick me out of there, and he also refused to acknowledge me to speak during that meeting.
So that is my question. If the board rejected it, the body rejected it, who, I'm going to ask the question because you were in that seat before, you're president before. Whenever you're having occasion, who can approve the budget for you to go rent home and all the other things?
The board can approve the board should approve the budget. That is the process and the protocol. The board must approve the budget. Now, here's the thing. I use that word must in a flexible way here because the Constitution also talks about the board has 30 days to do the approval. If the board does not do the approval or to even send you a communication. So let's say, for example, if you send a communication, because that has happened to us before when we were there, we send communication to the board wanted clarity on issues. So they roll us back. I'll give you a typical example. Our inauguration, we met 2,000 and change. The inauguration, when we planned the budget, it came out to almost 13,000, right? We had only 2,000 and change. Our own money was to take for our pocket or the community member money that is all spent to do our inauguration. We send it information to the board. You would think the board would say, oh, we don't have money, that's why we approve it. No. I respect them. They scrutinize it and they send it back to us to make sure we provide clarity and context as to what we wanted to do and how we wanted to expense the money that we did not have. Guess what? We respected the board's decision. We clarify it and send it back and they approve it before we even went. Can you imagine the money not there?
No, going to go lobby for the money for the community.
Yeah, but we still have to, because this is the Constitution. That's what it needs to be done. These are precedences you set. That's the way to go. Even if you disagree with the board, you do it respectfully. Let's say you send it in 30 days and the board refuses to acknowledge your information or anything, not ready about anything, then that 30 days elapse. Then the Constitution says you can now implement that. But if the board writes you within that 30 days and say we need clarity or whatever, you need to provide that clarity before they can approve it. So if they don't approve it, you can't go ahead with it. So that's what the Constitution says.
The board rejected that quality report.
Yes.
The body rejected that quality report.
Yes.
You guys are all, the board, both the board and the executives are all elected by the people and work for the people.
Yes.
Why did the board approve the money to get them for inauguration?
Well, I don't want to speak on speculation because I'm not sure if the board approved the inauguration budget. I'm not sure about that. The reason I'm saying,
if you look at, if no one's, I'm just saying, I'm just asking. The reason, Mr. Everton will need a response for you.
The reason I'm saying I'm not sure of that.
Okay, so you're not sure. We can pass that.
Because let me make this statement.
Mr. Tay, when you are the board chair, want to know what you and your men say. The people rejected that quality report. You also rejected that quality report. We want to know, did you approve the budget for the inauguration or did you not approve the budget for the inauguration? We need a statement from you, or you're most welcome to come on Bollitv to clarify. Why, Mr. President?
So let me clarify that statement. I don't know if the board rejected or not. You see, as former presidents or president and former leaders of the community, we have connections. The people we talk to, the people that talk to us, right? People give us inside scoop and so forth. People trust us with information. And that not everything we talk in public, right? But I'm saying this to say, if the board approved it at that time, if the board approved it at that time, then Then the board approved it.
Yeah, polala, 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 yeah.
This is what the Constitution says in Article 13. The Constitution is clear that the executive, the president, quarterly financial report needs to be presented to both the board and the general body.
Well, the man say he did as a courtesy. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, he can't do it as a courtesy. It's a mandate. That's what the Constitution says. It's not a pick and choose thing. And that's something where he can say, "Oh, I just doing it as a courtesy, or I doing it because I want to do it." It has to be done. And so part of their violation as an administration was, even as instead of presenting it to us and the board, guess what? He did a showmanship, gave the board of director Eric at that time in a general meeting, presented him with a copy of it, gave him a copy. Instead of explaining, instead of opening it up, do a presentation so that the general body can deliberate on it. He didn't do it. He sent us to the website. We go to the website. The day they told us, we had to drag it again for a couple of days. I think almost a week before they could even post it on there. So, I mean, those are violations. So again, to be clear, he's not doing it to say, oh, you know, he's doing it because he's doing a favor to the board, or he's doing a favor to us. That must be done. That's the right thing to do. And that's what the Constitution says in Article 13. It's clear.
So, I mean, so why you think he said that? No, it was just a courtesy. He was just bluffing or what?
Well, I don't think he's bluffing. I think, again, I'll go back. It's a dictatorial tendency. People who don't want to follow rules, they don't want to follow law, don't want to follow, they think they're doing people a favor. But they forget Harry and his entire team. And I'm saying this, nothing against them, nothing personal, but the truth of the matter is all of them bear this responsibility. All of them. Because they've all sat there and be mute about these things. And all of them, the Constitution, that they can read it. Now, if he's not doing what is right, then you put yourself on record. You can resign. You don't have to be there. But the fact that you are there, we say in Labro, we say in common sense, you know, silence means consent. So when you're silent, that means you consent to what's going on. You're part of it. So the entire administration has been disrespected the Constitution. They didn't follow the Constitution. So Harry did not do the board a favor.
This is my question. Will the board, if you said the board rejected that particular report, right?
Yes.
I don't know if they sent any documentation to the administration to say, look, you got a official report. Then why would the board be approving another budget for July 26th program?
Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question. I wouldn't be able to speak for the board because I'm not there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the communications, whatever. But what I know for a fact is this. The board's responsibility, again, is to create check and balance. And this check and balance should be on both ends, both the general public and the administration. When the administration is out of line, they must put them in check online and back in line. Now, if they're going to put them back in line, then the general public must be aware also of the board's action. The board can take action behind closed door and say, oh, we're working behind closed door. No. We need to know what they are doing in order to rectify or to correct some of these mistakes.
Yeah.
So that the public is aware as to what the board is doing to ensure that the right thing is done, whether via communication. You see, that's why communications are very important. You can't keep silent and say, oh, we buy board and we don't let it talk. No. Sometimes the executive need to be checkmated and the public needs to know. Especially where, again, I was in the meeting, it's not a DC, it's not I was right there. I'll give you a typical example. On the Timendra case, the board wrote Timendra in that meeting.
Because she wrote there and filed a complaint.
Yes, she filed a complaint. In that meeting, President Harry had the audacity, or certain board member was there, to say whatever the board wrote, they're not in concurrence with it, and that the board own thing they wrote there. They don't care about it. Basically, I'm paraphrasing him. Those are not the right words.
In the meeting, he told the board.
Basically, he dismissed the entire communication of the board. One of the board members there, Justin was there. He was in the meeting. I think Eric had left because Eric was in the meeting previously, but he had left because Eric raised a motion that this In the meeting, Eric made it clear in the meeting that this particular report is not accepted. There needs to be changes based on the recommendation from the general body, and it needs to be changed. And Harry looked at him in the face and told him, no, they're not going to do it.
Wow. Because I just came up with an interview with the VP where I posted all the ranting he was doing, talking about the board. They now hear the side of the story. The board is in error, and the board chair, Mr. Heritage, the last one they came up with a decision to write and say to Manuel was right and they were wrong. So now, Mr. President, the mayor is trying to go to EULA. Is there a constitutional provision in EULA that because the mayor say he must be all the West Coast, right?
Yes.
He can't be all West Coast when you have all the things there behind him. But we all part of EULA. We're not going to have another dictator to go sit down or us in the West Coast. Because right here in the community already turned against it. What do you say about that?
Well, it's clear. First of all, there are two parts to this whole EULA thing. And to our people, to everyone, I just want to say to you, please, we're in an age where, especially most of our young people, you can read, you can do research and so forth, right? Please, let's not rush to congratulate people when you haven't really ascertained the facts. You don't understand what's going on. It's okay to hold your peace and gather information. First of all, if I were President Harry, I would have never put that letter in public. First thing first. Secondly, speaking of President Harry, I want to speak locally first before I speak to EULA, because I have a concern about EULA's position, what they did. And we'll get to that. But if you read just the Liberian Association Constitution, this in itself is a conflict of interest. You can't be the president, the executive, the man who's supposed to represent us at all levels. If you read the Constitution, it is clear. There is no confusion about the role of the president. You can't be the man that's supposed to represent us, but then you're the same man that's representing EULA's interests. Because being the regional vice president for EULA, which for a fact, it is a position that they have to vote you in. It's not a position where they can nominate you.
So they vote the man, then why
I'm confused about EULA nominating him. That in itself is a confusion in EULA's constitution. But me personally, I got a message for EULA, because apart from Bollietv, I work with SKTV. And these are some of the things that when we try to hold the government accountable in Liberia, our own representative here, who is EULA, should be doing what is right per their constitution. EULA people, they're fully aware, the leadership, that this is a position that must be voted. You can't nominate. It is constitutional. So the president of EULA can wake up one day because he's excited or because he's happy he had a good day and say he will appoint somebody to be regional vice president. No.
So let me ask you, so you think they never voted in? They just appointed him?
No, go look at the letter. The letter is clear. It is an appointment pending
for board
the board's approval. But here is that particular portion where they say pending board's approval. It was done strategically. Because from credible information that we are getting, President Harry was told to resign from here if he wants to maintain that position.
Yeah, but even if he resigns, will they still put it to a vote? That's my question.
Well, here is the thing. Here's the thing. And that's a good question. If he resigns, EULA has the right to take him through the voting process. If he wins the election, then he can become the regional vice president for this end. That's a total different ballgame. But where the confusion comes in is if EULA decides to appoint him as the regional vice president, then that's a constitutional violation for EULA on side too. And Harry should know better. Yeah, that is the thing.
So this voting process, is it only done within the executive and board member of EULA, or because we part of it too, right? We all part of it.
Right.
Do they send communication out for other Liberians to participate?
Most definitely, so it should be that way, because when we go to the convention, that's when we vote those leaders in. However, something happens, then they can call for special elections. Whether they want to do it via phone, or virtually or in person, that will be at the discretion at that time of the leadership, right? Including the board, right? And so the executive can propose that to the board will agree with it or disagree with it, and then that can be carried out. So it's a process. Yeah, it's not waking up in the morning and saying,
I will try to see if I can reach out to speak to some representative from ULA if you got contact with them.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We can do a full interview. I can even call them what we'll do live. Yes. Or something where
in fact, speaking of this, SKTV will be reaching out to the Secretary General, the President, and the Vice President of ULA.
Okay, then
we'll also provide you with a contact just for the people of Arizona so that you can hear this side of the story, because you have to do fast checking and corroborate some of this information.
Correct. So when please let me know what the day
I will give you that information so you can be in touch with them as well.
Yeah. Now I mean when the day they come in SKTV, because of my sister station 2 now.
Right.
They just you guys do more internet. I just stay local.
Right.
So what I will advise, I beg you, the day he come in on air.
Yeah.
Before I can schedule him for an interview. Sure. I want to listen to him too.
Okay. Most definitely.
Yeah. So make sure we need to do that.
Yeah.
Because number one, we all are part of the Liberian community. We all are part of ULA.
Yes.
And guess what? With this personal behavior here, that dictatorial behavior, we have to not only in the community, they will say community, also in America. Because this is how they leave from here and go to Liberia and start spoiling things over there. So, Mr. President, so this is what I want to ask you now. We were talking about Mr. Maya Bishop.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. I think you said you left something I forgot and you wanted to add to it.
Yes. You know with the past administration with Bishop Maya's administration, what they wanted to do this typical Liberian thing.
Sweeping on the road?
Not only sweeping on the road, but they disrespect you in public. Then they come behind the horse and you don't behind the horse, you apologize. And you Christian and you're supposed to forget it, and Jesus love everybody, but your reputation is out there.
Exception play of big role in the community.
I told everybody that came to me, especially John Bernard, who was the vice president. I told him repeatedly, Myers will go in public and apologize. I don't play like that. You will go in public and retract that statement, that lie, that deception, that games that they play talking about they were playing politics. If he doesn't do that, there is no way. I told him, I said, my integrity, my name is on the line. There is no way I can walk with Maya and work with Maya after he had lied on me in public and refused to go there. I told him straight up. And that's why Maya got pissed off and passing around and bouncing and lying, because he wanted to go behind the horse to use third parties to come in. I don't know what they want to do. I know pep talk me or try to play me so let's just work together, let's just forget it our election. And I told him, I don't play like that. I don't do that. So I don't do that. Oh yeah, let's just leave it with God and let's just forget it for the sake of. I don't do that. You go to the community, you will tell the community you lie, whether you want to put it in writing or you want to say it, then I'll work with you. Until you can do that, I will not work with you. You will not disrespect me or dishonor me in public. Lie on me blatantly. And then you tell me I can't be on the hall and can't forgive you and then go work with you. I told you, I said, no, I don't roll like that. You are the wrong person. And so that's why Lester Meyer.
And you say continue even up to the election. But Mr. President, let me come in with this question. I just observed a few days also in the Lima chat room. Another person was there accusing you that you're using the Lima County organization to accomplish your political ambition. I saw you guys going at it, and I tried to get to come to the table. What is name, sir? Or Moses Mendy? I'm sorry. Yeah, I saw you and he going at it, man. Maya Bishop did an accusation against you that you took money from the area's coffers and gave it to somebody. The Liberia Association coffers.
No, Tucson.
He didn't say Tucson. He said you took money, you were represented over there.
During the debate. I was not, first of all, I was not working for the LA.
So listen now. Mm-hmm. It's clear in the election interview I did with him that you took some money from the area coffers.
From the where?
I think the area coffers, some coffers were out consulting them and giving to some member in the community.
No, that's
so because he came at you about that, that's why you stay away from him during the entire administration when you're in power. No. You make the correction, but me ask my question, then you put all two together. Then now we got Mr. Moses Mendy that come and say, accusing you of money basically again, accusing you that you're using the Nima organization to accomplish your political ambition. But Mr. President, there's two allegations now. One person here apologizing, another person going in a trap accusing you. These perceptions can damage you politically or even whatever ambitions that you have in the future. I need to address this too. I know you already touched on marriage about the Muslim men because in that time I read the whole thing.
Well, I've put the. In as much as I'm smiling, it bemused me, to be honest. Like I said, maybe unless Lester decide to modify his accusation, which people who don't say the truth don't try to remember facts. But if he said this, if he made this statement that you just made,
I'm going to find the video.
Then that means, right? Then that means.
I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
Maybe he said Tucson
exactly.
but I think I heard earlier.
So the only accusation that he levied against me was when I was president in Tucson. He lied about that, which he had never been to Tucson. He was never part of the Librarian Association in Tucson. So I don't know where he even got his information from. But that's why I try to say.
What we're going to do, Mr. President? I'm going to find an actual statement from him.
Yes, please.
So we both stand to be corrected. Let's say
no.
I stand to be corrected.
Exactly.
I stand to be corrected. But I'm going to find an actual video where he made a statement of you taking money and giving it to some community member, and because he came at you, you stay away from his sense.
Lester Bishop Myers.
So Mr. Bishop Myers is the former president that Steve Bolay then took over from. And if you follow all the clips I've been putting on my Facebook page, on my social media page, for the debate, the 7 episodes, you notice that this man's name was mentioned so many times.
You know, the allegation was that he took some money from Tucson, right? During the debate, I mentioned that, and he didn't like that. So,
he took some money from Tucson. Yeah. What type of money from the association?
He took the association money.
How much was that?
And lent it to some community member.
Oh, so what was his position for him to have gotten access to the money?
He was part of leadership in Tucson.
Now let's go to Mr. Moses Medina.
So
what? Because I'm the second person in the community that accusing you now.
So Mr. Moses Mendy, and I think you saw the communication in the Nima Association.
Yes, I went through your communication there.
And Mr. Moses Mendy, according to him, got pissed off at me because I criticized Prince Johnson and called him a rebel and called him a killer. So because of that, he ran campaign against me because, quote unquote, I was undermining his interest. And I told Moses Mendy, he didn't even do that in the Nima chat room when the Librarian Association chat room attacked me there during the election.
Okay.
During the election, that's what he did that. During the election. So 6 months after the election, the Nima Association asked me to be the elections commission because they're about to go through an electoral process. And I told him, I said, you know, something occurred that we did not talk about as a group, as leaders. And I said to them in the meeting.
What was that meeting at? Doing just recently?
Yeah. Okay. Before he Moses when he posted.
Okay. So recently.
So I said to them, I said, you see me, I don't hold things in heart. When you do something to me, I like to express it. And I like for us to iron it up and move on with life. I said, what Moses Mendy did during the election was unacceptable. But all of you leaders sat here and you said nothing. Even if you had an issue with me because I criticized Joseph Yuma Boakai, which I will not stop because I criticized George Weah too as well. When they do wrong, listen, I don't believe in praise and worship. I don't believe anybody should praise me or worship me. But when it's a merit to criticize me, criticize me. I'm not saying go create lies. I'm not saying go make up stories. When there is a merit, when there's a reasonable reason, criticize. It is the right thing to do.
That is correct. With facts.
With facts. So the fact here is Prince Johnson is a killer. And because Moses Mendy of Nima can't, so I shouldn't say Prince Johnson a killer.
So you think they may only make up this story that you using the Nima organization to accomplish your political ambitions and accuse you? He even talk about some money again that he tried to accuse you in that same text message, which I have. I'm going to be putting in this video too. So you think he just made up that story? Because he accused you of gossiping?
Well, and that's why I said to you. I don't do gossips.
Yeah.
I think my face is too ugly for me to gossip. Because I'm a straightforward guy. If I need to confront you, I'll confront you. I don't care who you are. If I need to ask you something, I'll ask you. If I need to talk to you about something, I'll talk to you about it. I don't go behind the horse and talk. I don't talk in circles. So if I talk to somebody here, I know exactly what I've told you and I can say exactly what I said. So Moses Mendy accused me of quote unquote gossiping because he was not in a meeting When I said that, somebody left from the meeting and told him that I called him out in the meeting.
So now what made him mad to bring all the allegations and all that?
Exactly. So when he came out and said in the chat room that I gossip about him, and I told him, I said, no, you don't know the difference between gossip or not gossip. It was a general meeting. I expressed what you did. And I said it was unacceptable. We are having a local election. It is your right to support who you want to support. But for you to attack me in public because I criticized Prince Johnson and Joseph Boakai, especially Prince Johnson, you from Nima County, so you want to use that against me? I said that is absolutely wrong. So Moses Mady does not know what he's talking about. He is not in touch with the fact. And you saw our communication in the chat room.
Yeah,
I told him straight up. And he made, I don't know what kind of allegation, he made some childish allegation because he dwells in gossip as well. Let me say this. I think in our community, in our Liberian society, I think if you hear something about someone or something and you don't know it,
reach out to the person
and just ask for the facts.
So you
can record earlier on during the interview. I told you that the elections night, when
everybody left, you were there cleaning the play by yourself.
It was me and Winnie and Winnie joined me
and then
Achi joined me.
You said you were cleaning and they saw you and they came and joined you.
I said that? Yeah. So during our administration, we used the building with the Nima Association in order to save money. Because the strategy was, we didn't have money. Why go rent a spot that would put that huge burden and that financial burden on us as an administration, when the goal should be we should raise money, save up some money, and then determine what we want to do later on based on what the general body wants to do with that money. So we work with the Nima Association in order to do that. During the elections, Pastor Ed Cooper, who was the chairman of the election, called me and said to me, they would like to use the place we can have the meeting for the elections. I say, okay. Because it was during the campaign, frankly speaking, and I'll take full responsibility, I dropped the ball. I did not tell them that it would cost them this amount. Because
you did not tell who then?
I did not tell Pastor Cooper.
Okay, the election commission then.
I didn't tell them. However, other places that they went to host debates and other things, they pay for those places. So the conventional wisdom would have been, okay, we're going to use this place. In as much as I didn't tell them, again, which is my fault because I didn't bring it up. I said, okay, we can use it because that's where we can have meeting or whatever it is. But we stayed, I think, 13 hours that day. So it is logical that at least they will compensate the Liberian Association, they will compensate the Nima Association.
But were they charged?
Because we use that spot. So here's the thing now. Here's where this money business comes up. That night when we leave from there, Sunday, I got a call from members of the leadership of the Nima Association.
Okay.
They said to me, you guys use the place for 13 hours. And so we need some compensation. We need $200 because the place was messed up. They had to, and it's fair.
No, but let me ask you a question.
It is fair and reasonable, right? And so immediately I called the board chair, I called Pastor Cooper, and I called President Harry. I tell them this is what we're faced with. Now I'm no longer there because another team won the election last night. Mm-hmm. So can we find a way around this? And I take full responsibility because it was not part of the budget. However, there is money left over. We can use some of this money to pay the $200 to the Nima Association.
No, but let me come in. Here. The association, the initial agreement was that we're going to use it free.
No. There was no. They asked to use it. There was no free or no.
Okay. When they asked to use it,
yes.
Did the Nima organization ever mention anything about compensation as to the use of the place?
No, from the beginning, no.
So they didn't say anything.
They didn't say anything.
So they put use the place. Did the Nima organization also tell them how long they had to use the place for?
No, normally.
No,
listen now, because here's the thing. It has to be put in context.
Yeah, but we have to
normally we use the place for 2 to 4 hours, but we use it for 13 hours this time around.
I understand, but there's my thing. Mm-hmm. There's my thing, Mr. Bolay.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When you giving a place to somebody,
right?
Do they give the people no time frame as to how long they can use the place?
Most definitely so.
Do they not tell the people even after that time frame or whatever time frame mm-hmm. when you lapse, they have to pay a little bit of compensation?
No. That's what I'm saying now. They just say it.
The Nima organization.
That's what I said to you earlier. The Nima organization reached out to me on Sunday after the elections.
Listen, I'm talking prior to the election.
No, prior to the election, no. They did not.
Okay, so this is the thing. That's what some of do could work contracts and things like that.
Right.
Even verbally you're talking to somebody,
Right.
you must let the person know as to what you should expect or what you should expect from them. So there's my thing.
Right.
They didn't tell the people you can use it for this long.
No, they didn't.
Neither did not. I'm talking about prior. I'm going to talk about after election.
Sure.
They did not tell the people after this amount of time you're smarting. So everything feeling now.
Right.
Then now they can't say, oh, but man, you're using it for 13 years, so one money now.
Right.
It was never agreed upon.
Well, I agree with you that it was.
Okay, but
that's what I'm saying now, and that's why I say I dropped the ball.
Okay.
Because as a sitting president, working also with the Neighborhood Association, I should have in that moment think about it and say, oh, it's going to be 13 hours, or y'all got to compensate, for an initial agreement.
Exactly.
Truly speaking. So on this one, it's not the association's fault. I take the blame. Okay. However, on Sunday, the election happened on Saturday. On Sunday, when I got a call that morning, I immediately called Eric, Pastor Cooper, and so forth, and I told them, and I called Harry also. I explained to them where I dropped the ball. Had I still been there, I would have paid the money and rectified that mistake. Because, mind you, the money that we allocated for the entire election, there were 200 and change left over.
I understand.
Right. So what did they say? What did the new administration say along with the board chair?
And
so I'll get to the new administration. And so that's where I don't know who told Moses Mendy that about this particular 200 now.
That the people now.
Exactly. And that's where he came in with gossip, a misunderstanding of information. And so that's why I was waiting for him to provide clarity and context so that I can educate him on what he's talking about.
Was the money given or not?
No, the money was not given.
So,
up until today.
So Moses Mendy just assumed that money was given.
Exactly so.
So everything he said was an allegation. Have you guys resolved it?
It's not an allegation. It's a gossip.
Well, I mean, gossip can become an allegation too. If he says something about somebody that they didn't do against the person's character, he's making an allegation against you. That you using the Nima County organization to accomplish your political ambition, and then you getting money.
But which political ambition?
I know that he have to clarify. And Mr. Mendy is more than welcome to come here to Bollitv.
I have no clue. That's why I told him.
So that's why I said. So the $200 you have clarified now.
Yeah, and up to now, for the record, when I called them, all of them consented that yes, it is true. But since the administration was going to be taking over newly, let them do all the reconciliation of the monies, let it transfer the money to them, which was reasonable. When they get the bank information or whatever it is, then they will do the needing. So they gave me the word, more like a gentleman agreement.
Up until now, they pay.
Up until now, they have not paid. So all I'm asking the administration openly here, if they can pay, let me know so I can pay.
Yeah, Bolala, 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 yeah.
No. You see, let me say this to you, Bolay, and to the rest of the people listening. Those of you who will watch this. When I read someone, even in the report, when I read I've to go from here to Tucson, they got to pay, they got to buy gas. When they go meet the people in Tucson, they got to pay. Our administration never did that. The organization does not even have money. All of these things that sacrifices you must make as leader. Let me tell you something. Let me tell this to you.
And when they were letting the board have refreshment, they have to take money off.
No. When we had meetings, we never took money from the coffers to spend it. You see? So when you start to do all this little spending here, spending there, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This community organization thing we do, it takes a lot away. It's very expensive. It's costly.
Tell me about it.
It's costly. And you have to be strategic and you have to make the necessary sacrifices because these are volunteer work that you do. You get nothing. You spend your money. You spend your time, your resources and energy, and people come and they insult you, they attack you, they disrespect you. But that's part of the thing you sign up for though. So I'm saying here to the administration, if they can't pay the 200, let me know I'll pay the 200.
But Mr. Bolay, let me ask you, let me play devil advocate small.
Sure.
The photo was in January.
Yeah.
He pay all our time. Yeah, but go pay, okay, so you pay the people and then go after the
maybe the people still reconciling the financial stuff.
So how you and Mr. Mendy just scratch everything out now? Did he apologize?
Well, everything is okay.
Have he apologized?
First of all, I want to be clear. I never had an issue with Mr. Mendy.
Well, the member allegation against you.
That's what I'm saying, but I never had an issue with him, so I want to be clear.
Well, you went back and forth with him.
No, I went back and forth
Oh.
with him to provide education and clarity.
Okay.
Because he was dwelling on gossip.
So everything resolved now?
Yes.
Did he ever apologize? Did he ever tell you that he understood the clarity that you made to him?
Well, that's something I'll handle by the Nima Association leadership.
So they resolve it?
It was handled and were resolved.
So they have been resolved. So which means did he apologize for the allegations?
I don't want to.
Listen, the reason why I'm asking you, did he apologize for the allegations? He didn't do it behind the
Okay. So as we speak now, I was contacted most recently this week. There was a committee set up. For Moses Mendy, I had to sit and have a conversation. And they called me. I told them, yes, I'm willing. However, I was clear on the record. I have no issues against Moses Mendy. Moses Mendy has the right to dwell in gossip, lies. That's his problem. That's not my problem. If he wants to know the truth, he can always call me. I have no issues with him. I addressed whatever needed to be addressed in the general meeting, and members of the leadership took responsibility and said, yes, we should have addressed it that time. We're sorry that it wasn't addressed, and we move on. And currently, I'm the elections commission's chair, and the Nima Association will be going to elections.
What's the reason why I'm saying that? Mr. Mendy did not just make this allegation behind closed door.
Right.
Just like Mr. Lester Bishop.
Right.
Mr. Mendy went according to you, into the LA chat room, into the Nima organization. That's public. So now, that financial conversation was never brought up in the general chat room. I want to be clear. Yeah, but it was brought up. It was the allegation, the attack that was brought up was, why am I calling out Prince Johnson and so forth? And okay, that's the way someone in the LA chat room. Yes. Well, okay, they want to clean to the public in the Nima chat room now. Yeah. The financial power, because I got all the text messages. Yeah. And I kept them. But I just read it. Okay, but you just read that. But guess what? Will he come out there to address this? Okay, I misquoted or I misunderstood what happened. And
that's his prerogative. Look, let me tell you, I can't.
Will you work with him?
Yes, most definitely.
Will you work with him? But he work with Malcolm.
It was never personal. You know why I will work with him?
What?
You know why I will work with him? You know why I work with him?
Well, I don't know.
Because truly speaking, Moses Mendy not only is ready to make amends and correct what he's done. I told you there is a scheduled meeting.
Okay.
Exactly. So you see, let me tell you something. We who are Christians, right? When you read 1 John chapter 1, when you start reading from verse 7, 8, and 9, it talks about if you confess your sin. Let me tell you this.
So Moses Mendy confesses?
No, I'm not saying Moses Mendy confesses sin. No, I'm not saying Moses Mendy confesses sin.
So how does this
the reason I'm using this is because we are Christians, right?
Okay.
The issue of forgiveness is a choice. The issue of forgiveness is a choice. It's not a mandate. If you confess, then the issue of confession, then the issue of forgiveness, the burden is on the other person. You understand? So with Moses Mendy, first of all, I never had an issue with him. It was never personal.
Okay.
So I'll only bring it up to the leadership that going forward, if something happens and one member or one leader is attacked, it's imperative that these things are handled so that they don't escalate. Today, I said it in my writings. Today, it might be me, but it could be someone else. And you don't know how this will go. And this could create problem and division within the organization. You can't sit as a leader and see people being attacked. And this is where also I have a reservation with the bull. Because they sat in the chat room, see people attacked people.
When you say the bull, are you talking about the Nima bull or the LA bull?
The LA bull.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just saying a similar thing, right?
We don't want to confuse the people.
Similar thing happened.
Okay.
The bull sat in the chat room. They read these messages. They're seeing these vicious attacks on women, on other people in the chat room. They say nothing. So then why are you there? Who told you leaders are quiet people?
Do you trust them, bull?
Well, it's not an issue of trust with them.
I mean, during your administration, you wrote them.
Right.
To audit.
Right.
They turned it down.
Right.
You're left in office. Your vice president right now send a communication again to do the same thing. Right. Tag all of you guys in it. Right. So based on that, I ask you, do you really trust this board?
Well, it's not like I said, in politics, it's not an issue of trust or not trust.
But there's not politics we're talking about.
This is politics. This is politics. All politics are local. Let me say this. It's not an issue of trust or not trust. You know what it's about? It's about competency. If you can do your job.
So you think the board is not competent?
They're delinquent.
All right.
And I got a serious problem with that.
That is the voice of our former president, Mr. Steve Bolay. You're here, the mayor. My bishop said going around talking all kind of things. The man said he and my bishop go behind the hall to go talk for you to say sorry. You got to go public. Yeah. He and man Moses Mendy, they went in, they own the chat room, they my chat room, they own the Bollitv about everywhere. I capture it from that. I asked him now, he clarified, this all be meeting. And Mr. Mendy, You also have the right to do a rebuttal. You can come on Bollitv anytime. You can contact me. So, my people, before we go, I'm going to give our former president, 1 or 2 minutes so he can do a closing statement, and then we'll call this a day. Mr. President?
So Mr. Bolay, before we do a closing statement.
If you want to add anything before the closing statement, let my audience know so you can add it, or then you can do your closing statement.
Please. I want to add this to the LeBron people, to the people of Arizona, right? This is, in as much as this is interesting, but I want it to be a moment where we can reflect and learn. And I say this to say, we shouldn't allow people to use or misuse or misquote the Constitution. In the general meeting, in elections, there are abstinence. One of the ways you can vote, protest vote. You can vote for somebody, you can vote for the other person. And so, when the issue of the benevolence policy came out.
Yes. Let's address that a little bit.
We did not vote. I did not vote against it. A couple of people did not vote, including the board chair did not vote for it. We had reservations. In fact, on the record, in the meeting that day, the former Vice President Emmanuel recommended to President Harry that whoever, because it's customary, whoever did the benevolence policy must be the one presenting it so that we can ask him direct question. President Harry refused. He said he will oversee it. When push came to shove, then he won't call the guy in. And the guy at that point too was like, nope, he in charge.
Because he didn't let him do his job.
You are overlapping function. You are all over the place and bouncing around. But that's not the point. The point I wanted to make is this. Right in the meeting, they started to push this benevolent thing as though that's some kind of emergency. And right there and then, I knew that we had a problem. You see, because no policy can oversee the Constitution. No way. That's not how it works. And so I said this to say that there is a part in the benevolence policy that the reason for which they push it was because they wanted to raise money. That was the ultimate goal. It was not to benefit the people of Arizona. It was to raise money. In order to raise money, it was in a dubious way.
What is the portion in the benevolent policy? And if you have that record, please make sure. Now, let me say something, Mr. Bolay. Everything that you are saying, any supporting factual evidence that you have, please make that available to Bollitv so that people can see it.
Right.
Now, what portion in the benevolent policy that you think they were using or they just put there to raise money?
The portion where they say people should register $60.
Isn't that for membership fee? That's for membership fee. How does it come to? Because they say you have to be a registered member in order for the policy to apply to you.
So I say it's dubious because, and let me not use the word dubious. Let me use another word that will maybe when my woman will watch it, will understand. It's a crooked way of doing things. And it was very deliberate. And that's why they push it. That's why they couldn't give chance. Because in that meeting, I even stood up and told them, I said, if y'all would change any part of this, then they gotta go and rewrite it and bring it back so that we are reading it. They refused to do it. President Harry was bouncing all around again, talking for 100 minutes, and he would tell Bolay they might talk for 30 seconds, and they must sit down. In a very disrespectful way. Yeah, for the VP when they were doing it that day, I sat down and I told a couple of people, I said that John palm oil waste on John rights. We get nothing. That one is on them, and they all came together. That's fine. They know what they're doing. That one, we're not worried about it. But I was concerned about the general public. To be very honest, they and the executive team, I got no issue with them. Let them do what they want to do. It is what it is. But here's the part that I thought was dubious. Here's the part I thought was dubious. Article 5 of the Constitution, when you read Section 2, it is very clear. And let me read it quick. Section 2, it talks about due payment. And it's very clear. Listen what the Constitution says. There shall be a one-time membership fee, one-time membership registration fee of $20.
Correct.
And other dues shall be proposed by the executive and approved during a general schedule meeting. Now listen to this part, because this is where it gets tricky. Members who has not paid his membership fee, or it didn't say N, or that means you have the option, or proposed due by the administration should not participate in election and shall be denied voting rights on important matters regarding the association. What it means there in simple English,
Two things happening right there.
it means two things happening there.
Yeah, you can
so
do
you can
one.
do one. So I mean, everyone who registered last December 20th, you don't have to pay no more due. So if you pay your $60, ask the administration to give it to you. If you already registered your $20. Now, here's the thing. If you choose to say, I pay my $20, I'll register member, but I still want the administration to keep the $60, that's fine. You can choose to do that. But constitutionally, you are responsible to either pay or due or
Pay the one-time
registration fee. And even if they wanted to enact this particular policy, then the Constitution has to reflect that change.
So Mr. President, very, very, very good elaboration. So a lot of people did not catch that part.
No.
I did a video with the president on July 1st. I actually put the provision of the Constitution because he lied also. So I had to fast check it in that video because he said there was no law when I was there as to membership fee. Okay? So I had to fact check in that video. That provision you just quoted there,
right?
I put it in that video. You can go back to July 1st. I'm going to re-put it in the video again.
Yes.
But this is my question. So are you saying this administration is already in violation of the Constitution that they passed a benevolent policy for people to pay this amount of money, even though they went to a meeting and they proposed the fee, because you said you can pick one.
Yes, either or.
Either or. Even though they went and proposed a fee of $60.
Yes.
Right?
They proposed a due of $50.
The due of $50.
Yeah.
Because you're saying because it is not reflected in the Constitution.
Yeah.
That the fee, which of course that fee is not mentioned. No. They say proposed fee.
You can propose.
But now they propose a fee of $60.
Yes.
Are you saying they're in violation even though they propose a fee? Because remember you said they can pick one.
Yeah. So let's go back. Let's go back. Because we got to make the point clear.
Yeah.
And let's
are you saying they're still in violation of the Constitution?
Let me tell you one time on the one.
Yeah.
Right? First of all, the reason why our administration could not crookedly and dubiously do it the way they are doing it is because we understand the plight of our people. Prices have gone up. You don't expect us to come to power and then we start charging our people in here in a crooked way, only because we want to make up for something that will put ourselves in entire over our own neck, right? We're not going to do that because we look at the Constitution and say, no, if we want to bring dues, then that means we got to change it in the Constitution. So if Harry don't want to bring this due payment, then they got to change the wording in the Constitution that say all due. Okay. So everybody who register, again, let me say it again. Mm-hmm. Everybody who register to vote in the past election is a member of this association and does not have to pay no due.
So let me come here again, Mr. Bolay. Me another play devil advocates to be fair here. Mm-hmm. The Constitution, if you look at the two places where he's saying, they say, the specified dollar amount for membership registration fee.
It's $20.
Correct.
Yes.
But the proposed, when they say all proposed fee,
yes, there
is no specified dollar amount proposed there.
Yeah, that's why it's proposed.
What?
So they can propose any amount.
So they propose the $60.
Yeah, they can propose the $60.
Are you saying because they propose the $60 is in violation of the portion of the Constitution to where it used the word proposed, but there's no fee mentioned, exact fee mentioned?
No, not to be specific. Because I don't want to confuse the audience.
Yeah, very clear.
What I'm saying here based on what the Constitution said. The Constitution says, if you pay your $20, you are already a member, a registered member.
We got that part.
You don't have to pay any more $60.
So your point is
that if you choose to pay the $60, it is fine, but it cannot be mandated.
Got you.
It can be false.
So technically, let me ask another question.
So that means the policy in itself, the policy in itself, plus, let me say this. Laws are not retrogressive.
I agree with you. And so if he tried to use it against me, I said, no, I'm not registered.
Laws are not you already register.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay any more $60.
Yeah. So there's my thing. The proposed fee that we talk about is $60 now.
Right.
Did I just propose is not considered a fee? It's a membership. It's a new membership registration fee that they're proposing.
Basically, they're using the word dues on it instead of registration fees. They're using the word. Yeah, they're using the word dues. But again, and the Constitution talks about it because you can use both of them at the same time. You can either pick one.
So the person,
so you can, like what I'm saying now, let me make this clear because I don't want people to be confused.
So then
you can pick one. The fact that we already registered in December of last year, the fact that you already paid that $20, you don't have to pay no more $60. You memo till next year, January.
So the $60, what are they considering the $60?
So the $60, they're using it as a due. But here's the place.
What kind of a due? Did they mention what kind of a due it is?
But as part of the membership, as part of member, you need to pay due for them now. But the Constitution does not say
what. Mr. Bolay is not getting myself. But I want my person to get my audience to get clarification. The Constitution specify the $20
as the
registration membership registration fee.
Yes.
You saying they use the $60 as due. What kind of a due?
For the membership too, the same member that should pay another $60. Basically, that's what it is.
So basically, they're trying to cancel the $20 fee, even though
they're trying to cancel it.
But you can't pay two registrations.
That's why I said being cocky and dubious.
Because even though the Constitution, listen, you
can't. They eating that one for then they kind of put new one there.
Because you can't impose something because you want to generate and impose another registration fee.
No.
When the Constitution has not been updated,
exactly.
You got people still working on it.
Thank you.
So
we are still working on this Constitution with this Constitution. So if we're still working with this Constitution, then we must respect this Constitution. And if we also respect this Constitution, then guess what? Then you can't impose that particular
anything else. You can't impose anything that go contrary to the Constitution.
Exactly.
You got to wait till
and there is no policy that can oversee Constitution. No policy.
Some people, let me put it in a simple way. The Constitution will get right now. You remember all went to meeting. The president hired a man wants to go and change certain things in the Constitution. No man ain't come by here to tell when they not change or for to accept it to say yeah, we let a new change. But then now they proposing $60 now. We're not mentioned in the Constitution we're working with right now. So that $60 technically, if you really look at it, it's illegal.
That's what I'm saying.
Because number one, the Constitution have not changed yet. We're still using the same Constitution. So if they want to make the $60 official, then they have to come back. They may went on vacation a long time to go face the Constitution. When they come back and tell why they not come away and the body agree to it, then we can see whether we'll keep the $60 or the $20.
So you got to change the word. But even as that, guess what? It does not even take effect.
Until this year. Any changes that made right now can take effect right now.
Effect. So you see, that's why I say it's crooked.
But you see, Mr. Bolay, the body just be voting or they don't understand nothing.
And that's why we abstain from all the not vote because we understand what the law says.
That's why the majority carry the rule. People just go, people let me tell you something, when you go to a meeting, they don't understand anything. You're asking them, you say, we won't go think about it, you'll get your own writing. So I can consult other people. Because they can vote anything without any understanding.
But you can't blame the people because you know why? The people entrusted the administration to know better, to not deceive them and crook them.
My man.
That's it.
No, you can't have somebody think for you.
No, not that. But
you trust the people to know
yes, better. But at the same time too, the administration cannot knowingly, deceitfully impose this on the people. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. So if the burden is now on the people at this point, you know who the burden is on? The burden is on the administration to do what is right vis-a-vis the people.
I think the administration, what they need to be focused on right now, they need to cancel that whole benevolent policy. But the thing is already into effect. So the person
so part of the benevolent policy too also that was opposed, that was even brought up, credit to Eric. And Eric brought this up. And I saw the Halu Balu and Quagmire in the chat room. Eric said this in the meeting. We need to put on the floor to vote. Whoever money is collected for,
they will give the entire money to that person.
The entire money to the person. President Harry refused vehemently to put it on the table for us to vote for it. And the Constitution said we need to vote for these things.
I thought some people voted in that meeting because according to your vice president, they said you abstain, everything abstain, he abstain, Temenjo abstain. So because I asked some people because they voted upon it. They said they brought it to the people voted. So which means they accepted it.
First of all, they shoved it down the throat of the people.
Were they forced to vote?
And that's
were the people forced to vote?
That's a good question. I wish
you
know what they did? You know what they did? And this is why I say it was dubiously done and crookedly done. Because they went and called people without giving them the right information to just come. And then to talk about your vote. And this is absolutely wrong.
No, that's all right. Let me make some correction.
It is.
Let me make some correction.
Yeah.
The meeting prior to that voting team, we went there, we talked about the benevolent policy.
Right.
They said we're going to come back in a month to vote on it when the guy they put in charge, Mr. Tony, was going to bring it and give the proposed, because he read it to us. in the meeting. And that we're going to come back, when we come back the next time, we're supposed to vote on it.
Right.
The only reason why I was not in that meeting because I was obligated on the 30th of March.
Right.
So when they came back that time, they were supposed to vote. So they didn't chop it down the throat. So they didn't chop it down the throat.
They shoved it down the throat. Let me tell you why. Because when they came back to the meeting, even as much that the point that you're making is valid, they did state that same point. There were changes and amendment done to that same thing.
Okay, so if they change anything there,
they're supposed to go back.
Okay.
So that's why I suggested, I suggested that they go back and let it be written. Let it be redocumented so that we can do what is right. But guess what? They refused. That's why I said they shoved it down the throat of the people. And it was absolutely wrong. It was wrong yesterday. It is wrong today. And guess what? Because the administration refused to listen. And I'm not putting this on President Harry alone. I'm putting it on all of them, especially the ones that were voted. All of them were sitting there. They said nothing. They could have stood up and said, "No, Mr. President.
Once there have been changes for the ones that I told you.
When we talking to say, we come to the meeting, we got to do what is right."
Got you. All right, Mr. Bolay, thank you so much. We got to bring it into an end now because I see Bolay ready to go all day. I got another appointment coming up. So, Mr. Bolay, I will give you 1 or 2 minutes so you can do your closing, speak to your people, and then from there we'll close the thing and get out of here.
Well, let me say this, and we didn't go silent because we wanted to get missing from the community or whatever. We got quiet because we wanted to afford the new leadership the opportunity to work with them, to provide them with advice, recommendation, and counsel. But we're back. We're going to be fully involved in the community politics. And I want to let Mr. Harry, the current president of the Liberian Association, know that we're not pushed over. And just so you know, you and your administration will hold your feet to the fire. We'll be very active. We'll be engaged in the chat room. We engage you to meetings. We engage you in public. And this is something I want to say to Mr. Harry. You know, that disrespect you did in the meeting to me, I want you to know today, it will never be repeated because I will not tolerate that from you. I will not tolerate that from you. Other people can take it from you. I will not take it from you. I want you to understand that before you came to this community, there were people who made sacrifices, and we respect those people. And you have no option. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. You will. You and your entire administration. I don't care who you choose to disrespect. But if you disrespect anyone else in this community, we will hold your feet to the fire. We encourage people to come to meetings. Going forward, that thing where you used to go to a meeting and you tell people to talk for 30 seconds, you talk for 10 minutes, we're not going to agree with that. Just so you know, the board now bounced, so the rule will change. The game rule will change this time around. Just so you know, we will hold you accountable. This is enough and it must stop. We will not encourage any kind of dictator in this community. We will not tolerate that. I'm not sure what you think, what you believe, but I want you to know that we're going to be involved. We're going to be engaged, and we're going to participate fully and ensure that the right thing is done in our community. If you think this is a joke, I want you to watch because we'll be to the next meeting. We will. We'll be there. And this time around, you will put things on the floor for the vote on it. The Liberian people, per the Constitution, you know that thing what you used to be doing, you running, oh, the administration said this, I mean, the Liberian people will vote on issues. That unilateral decision you used to take. That disrespect you used to do to shut people down. That thing where you used to do when people go to a meeting, you want gerrymander and censor people what they got to say in the meeting. When they ask you questions, you take it personal, you want to attack people, you be fighting. President, you get what to do. Because we'll be in the meeting and we'll engage you. You can rest assured on that one. If you don't believe anything I say in this particular interview, I want you to believe that we will hold you accountable. We will. And we'll make sure the community will move forward. We'll do the right thing. We'll follow the Constitution going forward. So, Mr. Bolay, thank you for the opportunity, as always. And anybody from Harris administration that ever call our name anywhere in a negative way or attack us, we will respond. We'll respond appropriately with the same measure, and it will be with force. I want to challenge Harry and administration. Anywhere they mention our names, we'll go there and respond. Whether in public, that behind a horse, that in private, we'll respond to them. Because enough is enough. We sat down and been quiet and people think we're pushed over.
All right, that was the voice of former President Steve Bolay. President Bolay, thank you so much for granting me an interview at your office. I really do appreciate it. Look, my people, let me tell you something. You don't let people be confused in the community. The two words they always use, personal and honor money. You don't need to go define the words in yourself. Not because you say the truth to somebody, it's only personal, but you're the person. That was like people that whole mentality right there. Not because you say the truth to somebody, it means you honor money in that person. Don't get over it. You just have letting people to play with your man. And two, you should not let people use travel car on your in this community also too. I'm going to add my voice to that. I will say this and I will make it clear. They sweeping thing under the rug. They media, they Bollitv. Not because I say Bollitv for the community. It means you're coming to the other TV the Liberian way. I don't do Liberian way. I don't sweep nothing under the rug. My camera is for everybody. The only thing you can't do on the TV, I'm not going to allow you to threaten people here to harm them or personally attack the person, family member. Then when you get nothing to do with our community. But if you come on my TV station, you express yourself in a positive manner, you even make allegations against anybody, you better believe that I will give that person the opportunity to come and defend themselves. Perception play a big role in the community we live in. But this has been a Bollitv production. You guys have a wonderful day.
Yeah, polala, 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 yeah.